My store is very different. Things are different around here. It's our job to make them look as stylish and beautiful as possible. Fans thought Danny Koker was done when Counting Cars stopped. He had lost 35 pounds because of worry, was being sued for $2.7 million, and his marriage was breaking up. But in 2024 the Count shocked everyone. His old show made $15 million a year, but in just a few months his new business made twice that much. The real surprise, though, had nothing to do with cars. Today we'll talk about the undertold story of how Danny Koker rebuilt his business, and why some fans say they can't recognize him. His birthday is January 5, 1964, and he was born in Cleveland, Ohio. His family loved cars a lot. Daniel Koker Sr., his father, was an official at Ford. From the beginning Danny loved cars and motorbikes. In addition to his uncles, cousins, and family friends, everyone in his family worked in the car business. But there was something else unique about his family. His dad liked more than just cars. He was also a great musician. He sang and played the piano for the Cathedral Quartet, a well-known Southern gospel group. Danny was changed in ways that no one could have imagined by this mix of cars and music. His singing skills were already being shown off on stage at Carnegie Hall when he was only 11 years old. Dan's dad gave him a motorbike when he was 8 years old. It wasn't just a present. Something big began. Daniel didn't just ride it. He took it apart piece by piece. After that he put it back together. He found out how much he loved finding things out at that point. He worked on bikes and cars all the time after that, taking them apart, fixing them and making them better. He was already helping his dad with car jobs when he was a teenager. He learned everything by doing it himself. He learned a lot from the Ford instructions and parts that his dad brought home. He wasn't trained in any fancy ways. I just wanted to learn more and practiced a lot. He was already making engines run faster and cars cooler when he was 16. His first car, a 1979 Camaro Z28, was one of his first big projects. Daniel didn't do what most kids would have done, and left it alone. He made a race car that could be driven on the street. He figured it out, even though it was very hard. Everyone saw that he could handle hard jobs by the time he was 18. He hadn't had any formal training. This was only the start of his amazing trip. When Danny turned 30, he tried something very different. He became a TV host on Saturday Fright at the Movies, a late-night horror movie show. He played Count Cool Rider. People in Las Vegas watched him introduce cheesy horror flicks every Saturday. He wore a cape and sunglasses to look like a vampire, and added his own funny to the show. Like Danny, his character liked Elvis, motorbikes, and old cars. He even told jokes with a funny accent that came from the fact that his grandparents were from Yugoslavia. It wasn't just movies on the show. Dan added his love of music and cars to make it more fun. A man known as the Count was still called that after the show stopped in 2001. People loved it. That was not all Danny did. He opened a small shop in Las Vegas called Count's Customs in 1998, because he loved cars so much. The name came from his TV character, and the shop's main business was making motorbikes look different. Daniel had his own style. He did more than fix cars and bikes. He made something wonderful out of them. A 1932 Ford Roadster was one of his first big projects. People knew Count's traditions were unique when they saw them. The shop began to get more customers as soon as word got out. Daniel moved to a bigger place in 2002 so he could handle all the work. He moved on from bikes to old cars and even started making parts just for specific cars. Dan got a call from Ozzy Osbourne in 2004 that changed everything. Danny made Ozzy a custom motorbike that he wanted. The bike was amazing, with bat-themed features and paint that seemed to glow. It made Count's traditions popular across the country. The shop got bigger over time. It was more than just a shop by 2010. Dan made it into a brand. He started selling things and got tattoos. He also opened a rock bar called Count's Vamped. Danny's hobby had grown into something bigger than he ever thought possible, when Count's Customs turned into a 30,000 square foot workshop, with more than 50 workers. Danny Koker's rise to fame began in a strange way on July 19, 2009. The first time he was on Pawn Stars, it was to evaluate a 1968 Mustang GT Fastback. He at Count's Customs was a shop in Las Vegas where he worked at the time, and he was already well known in the area. The pawn shop owner, Rick Harrison, needed someone who knew a lot about old cars. People loved Danny right away because of how charming and smart he was. With 23 shows over 3 years, he became a fan favorite on Pawn Stars. He got the nickname The Count because he used to host a TV show about scary movies. But after his second showing, things almost went badly. He and Rick had a fight about how much a 1957 Chevy Bel Air was worth. Daniel left the set because things were getting too heated, and the directors had to step in to calm things down. After that, Rick called Danny and told him he could have more power over his show roles. This made things better for them. People loved how they talked to each other on screen. In June 2011, the idea for Counting Cars came to me. A producer from Left Field Pictures named Brent Montgomery was at Count's Customs to shoot for Pawn Stars. Danny was in talks to buy a rare 1970 Plymouth Superbird, which he saw. Danny made an instant offer of $75,000, which showed how much he loved cars. Montgomery thought this would be a great TV show. The first episode of Counting Cars aired on the History Channel on August 13, 2012. Watch as Danny and his team bought, fixed up, and sold old cars and bikes on the show. The show was unique because it showed every step of the process, from Danny finding a car to seeing it repaired and fixed up. The first episode was a full circle moment, because it showed the restoration of a 1968 Mustang Fastback, the same type of car he evaluated on Pawn Stars. 3.1 million people watched, which is a lot more than the History Channel usually gets. Because of how well it did, more episodes were ordered, and shooting began just 2 weeks later. Everywhere, dude. I'm moving rocks around. I am digging in other people's yards, getting a peek through garage doors, never stopping. It became one of the most watched History Channel shows very quickly. Through the first season, an average of 2.9 million people watched each show. It sometimes did even better than Pawn Stars, which was its parent show. This movie had been shown in 150 countries by 2014. You know Rick Harrison, right? That's him from the TV show Pawn Stars. We were able to meet Rick Derry and ask him what he thought about The Roar, and made into 38 different languages. More than 1.5 million people watched each episode in Germany, making it the most watched American reality show there. Some unexpected things happened because of how well the show did. Las Vegas cops said that the number of stolen classic cars rose by 37% in 2015. They thought that thieves were motivated by the show to target the cars that were shown. Danny had to tell people who own cars to be extra careful. Danny's unique style also helped the show become well known. He had long hair, a beard, and all black clothes with skulls on them. He didn't just dress for TV. It showed how much he liked rock music, and his band has 77 members. Fans loved how he mixed his rock star personality with his understanding of cars. A poll done in 2016 found that most people watched the show because they liked Danny's style. Dan also had some funny habits. He thought that a leather jacket he had had since 1989 would help him get good deals on cars. He didn't wash it. It even had a pocket with over $10,000 in cash for quick shopping. On November 5, 2013, Danny had a moment that showed how kind he was. He fixed up an old Corvette from 1981 that belonged to a Vietnam veteran who had died. He was so moved by the act that he cried when he gave the car to the veteran's widow. 4.3 million people watched this episode, making it the most watched in the show's history. Danny Koker has become successful through hard work, creativity, and a strong desire to do well. His business, Count's Customs, grew quickly after his show Counting Cars became a hit. The store grew from a small 7,000 square foot area to a huge 40,000 square foot building by 2018. Dan was able to take on bigger and more exciting projects because he had grown. Before the show, his team of more than 50 skilled workers only did a few special builds a year. By 2020 they were doing 75 a year. People paid a lot of money and were ready to wait up to 18 months for his one-of-a-kind designs. In 2019, the shop was making over $15 million a year, a huge increase from its first year's money of $500,000. Danny also started selling clothes and accessories with the Count's Customs name on them. This made the business $3 million more every year by 2021. That was not all Danny did. In 2017, he began selling rare car parts for restoring old cars. By 2022, This was bringing in 20% of the shop's income. He even started giving workshops and showing others how to fix up cars, which